showcasing beloved favourites and forgotten gems. This is The Archive with Jason Drury on the Cinematic Sound Radio Network.
For Ramsgate, Kent, England, welcome to a special edition of the Cinematic Sound Radio Podcast. My name is Jason Drury, podcaster, producer and proud member of the IFMCA, and I think the best way to introduce today's show is to say, where life had no value and death sometimes had its price, that is where bounty hunters appeared. That was music from Ennio Morricone's score for A Few Dollars More, the second film in the Sergio Leone Dollar trilogy. Before I continue, I must not forget to say a big thank you. No, not say a big thank you to somebody. I haven't started yet. Before I continue, I must not forget to say a big belated hello to our Cinematic Sound Radio patrons. And if you want to join the Cinematic Sound Radio podcast Patreon, then please head over to patreon.com/Cinematic Sound Radio. Also, if you dare, I would really, really like it if you could rate and review the show. I'd very much like to read what you think of the show, and I may even read out a review of the show if I dare. Nobody's done so far. Today's show is a special on a very specialist subject in the film music genre. The Italian, or if you prefer, the spaghetti western. A subject of which I cannot do on my own, so I scoured the internet to find the right person to assist me on this analysis of the genre. And I finally found that person to take us through the world of the spaghetti western. But he flatly refused to appear, so in the end I stuck with my Zoom further down the south coast in Brighton, England, renowned blogger and self-proclaimed spaghetti western expert, John Mansell. Hello, John.
Hi, Jason. How are you?
Very well, thank you, I think. Now, how did you get involved in spaghetti western music?
It was all by accident, actually. I think I was around about 13. I'd already got into film music via TV themes and Lawrence of Arabia. And then I used to go out every so often with my saved up pocket money. And there was a shop in Brighton where I'm from called Telefusion. And they used to rent out TV sets and radios and things like that. But they had a section at the back of LPs, records, singles, and listening booths. And I went there and had a rummage through, and I found an LP, and it was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And I thought, never heard of it, you know. So then looked at the price, and what had happened was they'd marked it up wrong. It was a full price album, but they'd marked it up about 13 shillings, which I think is about 70 pence in today's money. So straight away, I thought, I think I'm going to get that. Got it home and listened to it, and it just blew me away. And after that, I just wanted more and more.
Fascinating. Now, the Italian or spaghetti western has had for decades entertained and thrilled cinema audiences all over the world. Its unique style, and more importantly, its inventive musical scores have influenced and inspired actors, filmmakers, and composers. It is a genre that is still enjoyed today by many. This unusual but entertaining ensemble of films influenced not just the Western film as we know it, but also had a lasting effect on many other movies, some of which were produced long after Italian Westerns had ridden off in the proverbial sunset of cinematic history. In the following 2 hours, with the help of John Mansell, I hope to uncover just a few of the musical delights of this quirky but important collection of sagebrush sagas.
Music from the Sergio Corbucci Italian Western The Mercenary, or A Professional Gun as it was called in the UK. The movie, which starred Franco Nero, Tony Basante, Giovanni Ralli and Jack Palance, was part of a handful of films within the Spaghetti Western collective known as a Zabata Western, which means it was set in the early days of the 20th century during the Mexican Revolution. There were a few examples of this type of Western, A Bullet for the General and Duck You Sucker among them. Today, thanks to Cinematic Sound Radio and Jason Drury, I will be doing a whistle-stop tour through some of the great music from the Italian Western genre and playing tracks from various scores that maybe are not as familiar to you as the work of Ennio Morricone within this genre. I chose The Mercenary to open as it is a film that more than most in the genre makes effective use of having themes for the main characters. The mercenary theme being the descending whistle motif, which is heard every time Franco Nero's character appears. The villain, Curly, is accompanied by a dark-sounding electric guitar solo, accompanied by a menacing organ performance. And the Mexican bandit character, Paco, having a robust and fast-paced revolutionary theme with strings and choir. At times, the composers Ennio Morricone and Bruno Nicolai fusing elements of all three themes to create a smorgasbord of musical interaction within the film's storyline. The music for the Italian Western has become an iconic part of cinema history, with the soundtracks at times becoming more popular than the films they were written for.
two prime examples of music from this quirky but entertaining genre of films. The first from a movie entitled Quella Sporca Storia Nord-Est, or The Dirtiest Story of the West, and the second from the film The Stranger Returns, or A Man, a Horse, and a Gun. The composers Francisco De Masi and Stevio Cipriani were heavily involved in writing scores for the Italian Western genre, both having their own distinct and unique style. It may surprise you that the Italian Western came into being because of events connected with Hollywood and the epic or biblical slanted film. Hollywood had for years been producing movies such as Ben-Hur, Sodom and Gomorrah, Quo Vadis, and the like, the majority of which have been filmed in Italy using the services of the now famous Italian studios Cinecittà and hundreds of Italian technicians and extras. But in the early 1960s, the epic film bubble burst, and virtually overnight, Hollywood studios pulled the plug on producing them, thus leaving the Italian film industry in dire straits, facing mass unemployment and collapse. A handful of filmmakers in Italy had noticed that the German producers were having some success with westerns, featuring characters created by Karl May, such as Winnie Two, Old Shatterhand, and Surehand. These sauerkraut westerns, as they were dubbed, seemed to resonate with the cinema-going public, so Italian directors and producers decided to try and capitalize on this, and thus began to shoot their own versions of westerns. At first, these were nothing more than clones of the German-made western, which were themselves copies of the American western that had been in circulation for years. These early Italian productions included Bullets Don't Argue and Gunfight at Red Sands. But all this changed when a director named Sergio Leone created a new kind of western film in the form of A Fistful of Dollars. His vision of the Wild West being accompanied by a very different sound that was created by a young composer under the name of Ennio Morricone.
A Fistful of Dollars was the first of 3 groundbreaking westerns directed by Sergio Leone. This trio of movies was dubbed the Dollar Trilogy and set a precedent, laying out a blueprint which in effect opened the floodgates to a plethora of movies that either put their own twist on the western genre or imitated the original directorial style of Leone. A Fistful of Dollars was based upon 2 stories: The Servant of Two Masters by Italian author Carlo Goldoni, and the Japanese samurai film Yojimbo, which had been directed by Akira Kurosawa. Hollywood had done a similar thing in 1960 with The Magnificent Seven, based on Kurosawa's The Seven Samurai. The music for A Fistful of Dollars was totally removed from what audiences had become accustomed to in a Western movie, gone with the sweeping and sprawling Copeland-inspired themes such as The Big Country and The Magnificent Seven. Instead, Morricone penned a sparser and more harsh-sounding score, using solo trumpet, electric guitar, a whistler, squeals, grunting choir, rifle butt cracks and bells to create a freshly and highly supportive work. The style that Morricone brought to fruition in A Fistful of Dollars was an instant hit and soon was imitated by other composers who were enlisted by Italian directors to score the landslide of westerns that were coming out of Cinecittà.
Ehi, amico, c'è Sabata. Hai chiuso.
Ehi, amico, c'è Sabata. Hai chiuso.
Ehi, amico,
C'è Sabata!
hai chiuso.
This is the Archive Italian Western Special with Jason Drury and guest host John Mansell.
Music from 6 Italian-made westerns, all different, but at the same time, all having with them a standard sound of sorts. The reason for this was many Italian composers used the same musicians, the same solo artists, and even at times conducted each other's scores. Because of the success of Morricone's sound for the western, many directors who wanted Morricone for their movies and could not get him would ask other composers to mimic Morricone's style. Hence, the Italian western sound was born. Very often, composers like Louis Bacalov and Mikko Fedenko would write in the style of Morricone and also use choirs such as Il Cantone Modone and a whistler such as Alessandro Alessandroni on their scores. In an Italian western, there are scenes such as the gunfight that would be scored with soaring trumpet solos and dramatic orchestral flourishes, making the showdown in an Italian western a grand affair or an occasion. Often, the scenes being filmed were extended to accommodate the music, which accompanied close-up shots of the protagonists' eyes, mouths, and hands hovering over pistols, ready to draw their weapons and bring the story to a close for at least one of them. The composer who excelled at this was Ennio Morricone. His music combined with the images as filmed by Leone and other directors becoming integral to the storyline. It became foreground and not background, punctuating the action and creating tension, as we will hear in the next few tracks, which are all by Ennio Morricone.
The gunfight Morricone style, with tracks from The Big Gun Down, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, Once Upon a Time in the West, and For a Few Dollars More. The last two cues having within them a performance of an instrument that was key to the storyline, and a case of the score being integral to the narrative. Two other important factors of the Italian Western score were the main themes and the songs. Some songs acting as opening credits music in a few cases. Italian filmmakers were always keen to be taken seriously by American audiences. After all, America was the home of the Wild West. So directors would ask the composer to provide a song for the movie, thinking that American audiences might be more accepting of a film if it had a title song. Composers such as Francesco Di Masi, Gianni Ferrio, Guido and Maurizio De Angelis, Franco Michelisi, Ennio Morricone and Bruno Nicolai all penned songs for a handful of their westerns. And even when these vocals were performed in mispronounced English, they were still appealing and effective.
Countries that know only the springtime, and you green fields with your satin of hay, nor Ringo with his angel face, and the woman who was waiting for his return. His laughing, 'twas a presage of death. Ringo had a name. But whenever Ringo laughed, Ringo fired.
This is the Archive Italian Western Special with Jason Drury and guest host John Mansell.
Again we must travel on to nowhere, nowhere. Even when we were kids, we stood alone. All the things that we tried just never mattered. They all shattered, so we packed up and moved on. The sun in the morning warms the cold night, cold night. What makes you go on to change your mind? How far down that road you've gone a long way from the first day when you picked up that gun.
When injustice has been done, men must fight and never run. When injustice has been done, one forgets to love. Though I love you as my soul, living you and friends I know. Please don't hate me, don't forsake me. Time has come, I must go. One day with my say when the day will come, you will be with me. When the justice has been won, when must fight and never run. Please don't hate me, don't forsake me. Time is gone, I must go. I must go. I must go. I must go.
A selection of vocals from Italian westerns. Note the lyrics in the song I Must Go, composed by Carlo Rustichelli and performed by Fred Bongusto, being very reminiscent to that of High Noon. In the late 1960s, the Italian western soundtrack became popular with collectors who maybe were looking for an alternative to the Steiners, Bernsteins, Goldsmiths and Barrys that were abundant on the film music scene. The music in an Italian western was as raw and savage as the content of the films. It had to be to match the live action, the images, and the narrative effectively. Italian composers stepped up to the fore with some of the most original and thematic music that opened the films, accompanied the chases, underlined the plots, and elevated the showdowns, and even, at times, added melancholy to the rare emotional moments. Here are a few examples.
We've included a good variety of music so far, but what of the music of composers that work within the genre and did not achieve the popularity they so deserved outside of their native Italy? Agio Macci, for example, who wrote the score for Banditos, and Santa Maria Romitelli, whose work on Spara Gringo Spara is filled with rich thematic material, every track being a theme for a character in the film. Then there is Gianni Ferrio, who worked on many westerns, at times his scores rivaling those penned by Morricone. Also Piero Piccioni, Gianni Marchetti, and Carlo Savina, all of whom contributed original and inventive soundtracks to accompany the spaghetti western. Piccioni in particular creating his own western sound with lush strings and brass that were supported by a distinct jazz style, as in The Deserter. Carlo Savina too made worthy entries into the genre, his score for Coming At Ya being both dramatic and melodic.
And with this suite, we've now sadly come to the end of this special edition of the archive on the Cinematic Sound Radio podcast. My extreme thanks to my good friend John Mansell for joining us today to share with us his vast knowledge of Italian Western music. Many thanks, John, for joining us today on the show.
No, thank you, Jason. Thank you. The Italian Western as a film genre was quirky and original, far removed from what was known as a cowboy movie from Hollywood. Its locations, its storylines, and its characters were all a breath of fresh air that audiences lapped up. Spaghetti westerns very rarely had a hero, but featured an anti-hero, whether that be the man with no name, Django, Sabata, Satana, or a downtrodden Mexican peon. To underline and support these characters and scenarios, we were gifted a collection of inventive and groundbreaking soundtracks, which, like the movies, not only became part of film history, but influenced future generations. Alan Warner, a United Artists, once said of the Italian Western score, "It could be by Ennio Morricone, or maybe Bruno Liccolai, but you can be damn sure it's not Percy Faith."
We leave you with two themes that are probably the most famous from the genre: The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, and Once Upon a Time in the West, both scored by the master himself, the great Ennio Morricone. Thank you very much for joining us. I do hope you've enjoyed this special edition of the archive on the Cinematic Sound Radio podcast. And from John Mansell and myself, please take care and happy listening.
Thank you for listening to the Cinematic Sound Radio Podcast. I want to thank Tim Burton for providing his voice for all the bumpers you hear throughout the program, and to David Casina for providing Cinematic Sound Radio's theme music. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please email us at cinematicsound@yahoo.com. You can find us on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And wherever you're listening to us today, please take a moment right now to leave us a rating and a review of the podcast. You can get a Cinematic Sound Radio t-shirt at our TeePublic store. You can join our Patreon at patreon.com/cinematicsoundradio. And don't forget to check us out on the web at cinematicsound.net.